Studio. We'll get you back out to the podium in Philadelphia to hear from Nick Nurse and players on both the Raptors and Sixers after Philadelphia wins it in Game 6, 112-101 to force a decisive Game 7 on Sunday. The star of this game was Ben Simmons and how he bounced back. He had scored 27 combined points over the previous 3 games. Tonight he goes for 21.
You know, what I love, Jared and Isaiah, the way he came out and put his imprint on the game. And then also I think for me is he is playing with a lot of force. But first we're going to go to Nick Nurse, and then you'll come back to me, Jared. You see how I transition right quick?
Why do I need to be here? Players only.
Doug Smith with Toronto Star. We're sort of surprised by your team's lack of forcefulness early in that game. You say you like to know early what they're going to be like.
Yeah.
You're surprised they were a little bit tentative?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I think obviously with the start, I think it was 13-5, right? Not great. And but then I thought we settled in really quickly. I think we went on I think we took the lead there, 15-13 after that run or something like that. But then it was a kind of a strange game of runs, you know, where they came out and blasted us, and we crawled back in, and then they went right back again on maybe another 8-0 run or something like that. And then a couple times late in the first half, I think we had it 49-41, and we missed back-to-back wide open threes that would have cut it, you know, to 5, and then we end up going down at the half something like 12. Again, so there was just too many like fast momentum swings, I think. But yeah, we didn't play with enough force. We didn't play hard enough. We didn't stand in there. We didn't play with enough physicality.
Nick, Steve Simmons, Toronto
Steve.
Sun. How do you explain the disparity game to game in this series? So many, I guess you call them blowouts, you know, through 6 games.
So there's been 2-2-2, right? 2 close games, 2 each way, right? I don't know. I guess a lot of that has to do with, you know, just momentum, and you know, for us, you know, I still think we just missed so many shots early, and they were just playing off the rebound so often, right? They were getting them off the rebound and pushing it out on us. We were not doing a great job in transition, and then when we did, we ended up cross-matched a little bit, and they made us pay for those. And then when we did make them miss, they were getting their share of putbacks as well. So we kind of 3 things going there that was you know, somewhat attributed to our poor shooting. But that, you know, again, I'm not sure why both teams really are letting that affect them so much in the 4 games that have not been close.
David Grenovan, ESPN. Nick, you guys were able to limit Joel to some extent in games 4 and 5 in the first half of this one. When you're coaching against the Sixers in the third quarter in particular and seeing him come alive, what's going through your mind as the opposing coach?
Well, I think you're right. We've done a pretty good job on him, but I think his presence was a lot more than his baskets tonight, right? And for whatever reason, I'm not sure. But it seems like we again weren't into the paint as much as we would have liked to, and I imagine he had something to do with that, right? But again, I'm pretty happy with the shots we made him take. Or I mean, I think I can only recall maybe 1 total that we didn't even rotate out to him. I think he missed that one, right? The other ones were kind of, you know, slow close threes, and he you know, you're gonna because you're protecting the paint, you know, versus Simmons and Butler and Harris and those guys driving, that you're gonna give up some of those kickbacks, and you know, you do the best you can to contest them, and he happened to make a couple of them tonight. I don't know, that's all I got for you.
Michael Grange from Sportsnet. Nick, what is your message going into a Game 7, given, I mean,
Yeah.
there's always a lot at stake, but it seems
Yeah.
even more this time around. What do you tell your guys?
Well, I think, you know, it's not unlike where we've been a couple times in this series already, right? They're critical games. They're all critical. You know, and we've got to play with great physicality, great speed, connected on the defensive end. I think we gotta play our, you know, one of our best defensive games of the year. Make sure, and you know, play with some gusto on offense.
Ben Mallis, the pick and roll to your right. Just with Ben Simmons, you've done a good job this series of keeping him, I suppose, out of his running game and forcing him into turnovers and tough passes. And tonight he was able to get going and impact the game.
Mm-hmm.
Was that something he was doing, or was that something you look at and say your defense wasn't up to scratch tonight?
Yeah, I think it was probably a combination of some of the stuff I talked about. I think our poor shooting got him out in the open floor a lot. I think he was certainly aggressive. Give him credit. I thought he made a lot more straight line, non-hesitant moves tonight. He just when he decided to go, he decided to go, and he wasn't thinking about passing really tonight, and he was just taking it to the rim, and we weren't providing enough help down there. And he hurt us on the glass a couple times early. Like, we had a couple good defensive possession, and there his big arm and hand came up there and tipped him in, and those are tough, right? When you've had a good defensive possession and they stick in a high percentage tip in. He was really good tonight, but he's a really good player. I think that you don't expect these guys to stay silent for every game in a long series. You know, they're good.
Apologize if you've answered this before, but during the game, you guys made several runs at them, and then they canceled back with a run. Notably, that third quarter especially. How tough was it for your team to get at them and then they counter punch like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's always the hard part, right? When you do claw your way back to somewhere where you can see it, you know, and then you just have a couple of either strange plays or they answer with a 3-ball or something like that. And again, it kind of takes your spirit a little bit, and all the energy you use to fight to get it close, and then it goes back up to the gap, you know. So it was such a game of runs tonight, and I don't know. You just got to try to keep playing through those things, right? When it's not going in, your defense has to be that much better. Got to make sure you get shots, but again, we gotta make sure our defense is better and a bit more connected and a little bit more team orientated on the defensive rebounding.
Thanks very much, everybody.
Okay, thanks a lot.